This is a tough question to answer. Would you want to know if someone on your cruise has gone overboard? We've got several cruisers dealing with that right now. Also, we've got a really uplifting story about a real cruising hero, and then hundreds of cruisers caught up in an incident which has caused them to miss Christmas. Some injured. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on Monday, December the 26th, 2023, day after Christmas. Hopefully you got everything that you wanted. Hopefully you're having a good Tuesday morning. It feels like Monday after the holiday, of course. But yeah, some cruise news to process through. The first story, kind of a bummer story. We have word coming off of the Vision of the Seas that on December the 23rd, a 41-year-old man went overboard, fell overboard that cruise ship. The Vision of the Seas spent 6 hours searching for this passenger. The Coast Guard also was engaged on the night that the passenger went overboard. They have since called their search off. And it's not unusual, these stories. I think this, we're in the 20s, 20 people overboard on cruise ships in 2023, somewhere between 20 and 30. That seems to be about normal. And when you compare that to the millions of passengers that cruise on cruise ships, it's really a small percentage, but one is too many in my opinion. And then the other aspect of this story that I want to bring forth is there's a lot of news articles out there focusing in, it's seemingly on one passenger that was interviewed that talks about the moment that he heard that somebody had gone overboard. The captain came over the loudspeaker and announced that someone had gone overboard, announced it on the 23rd, and it made him feel uneasy. It made him feel sick to his stomach and somewhat tainted the rest of his cruise, is what I'm taking from reading these articles. And I thought that's a pretty valid question that I would throw at you guys. Do you think that it's appropriate to tell the other passengers, that somebody has gone overboard? Maybe they have to do it to explain why there is a delay, why they're seemingly in the same spot for 6 or 7 hours searching. Is that something that's necessary as a passenger cruiser? Would you want to know that? Or is ignorance bliss in this situation? Would you be better served to not have to, do the mental gymnastics of thinking about somebody who fell overboard? I don't know. I'm okay not knowing, I guess. There's nothing I can do about it. And, I don't think it would ruin my vacation, but apparently it will some. Would you want to know or would you not want to know? Leave a comment below. Sad story. Thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the person that's overboard. And just a sad deal. So let's put that sadness behind us and fill our hearts up with joy as we talk about a real cruising hero. Here's to you, cruise entertainer, CPR giver. Cruise entertain, CPR giver. I don't know what I'm doing. It's Monday and I'm feeling good. Shout out Ludacris. Now this incident happened on December the 12th, earlier this month. Others have talked about it, but I wanted to give, my respect, credit where credit is due. Shout out to comedic juggler Pete Matthews. And look, as someone who juggles, anytime the jugglers get some, shine, I'm excited for them. Very simple story. Pete Matthews celebrating his 50th birthday by doing shows on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. He's in between shows. He's running a drink to his wife in the cabin. He hears a commotion in the corridor. He comes upon a group of youngins, 30-year-olds, freaking out because the dad is collapsed on the side of the corridor. Pete Matthews, assessing the situation, realizes that this gentleman needs CPR. He is trained in CPR. He starts doing the CPR and he's able to keep the man with us until the EMTs arrive. The EMTs take over from there. The EMTs continue to revive the gentleman. He's taken to a medical facility. He is medevaced off of the cruise ship, and the reports that we're getting post the medevac is that he's doing good. Maybe he got a pacemaker and that he's doing good. So Pete Matthews kept a guy alive, saved a guy's life just by knowing CPR and being in the right place at the right time and not being afraid to act. So for that, we give you a big thumbs up. Pete Matthews. I don't know CPR, but this story is inspiring to maybe learn it and have that in the skill set. I hope none of us would ever have to be in that situation to perform CPR, but it'd probably be good to know. So there you go. Cruise news story number 3. One of the major cruise lines just had an earnings announcement. And one of the big takeaway from the earnings announcement is that their cruise line is already 2/3 sold out for 2024 at higher prices. The business of cruising is wild. This, it's one of those things, right? As consumers, we don't want to hear a business being excited about being able to charge more for their services and being able to, kind of book up all of their occupancy at the higher price. But at the same time, we're excited to see the recovery of the cruise industry because we want to keep cruising, but we know that that's going to cost us more to cruise. I'm talking about Carnival Corporation. They came out with their earnings. They did $5.4 billion in revenue in Q4. They still lost $48 million in Q4. But if you compare that to last year, they lost $1.6 billion last year. And so while there's some, like the stock market, publicly traded companies, some of these numbers never really make sense to me, right? You want revenue to be up. You'd like to see them be profitable, but then sometimes them just not losing, them losing $1 billion less than last year is a good thing. The stock's been performing well. And like I said, they're excited because there's only like a third of capacity left to sell out, and they've already sold it at a higher price. So it should be a boon year in 2024. Who knows? That there's all these other factors. But Carnival having a interesting Q4 reporting and some key insights to what 2024 looks like. Yeah, it's I think it's good. I don't know. I'm not a financial expert, but there's the financial update. Now we got to talk about these hundreds of passengers who have essentially missed Christmas because of a crazy post-cruise incident. But before I do that, I'd like to quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes and you can be a part of the Loca fam. We're a bad bunch, man. A wild conglomeration of cruisers all around the world. All happy to say see you on the Lido. We'd love to have you in that number. All you got to do is hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and YouTube will do their part to let you know when a new episode comes out. It doesn't cost anything, and you can be hashtag LocaFam. I'd love to see that in the comments. Can I get a hashtag LocaFam? A big thank you in advance. Well, here you go. The P&O Arvia doing cruises in the Caribbean out of Barbados. Now, if you know anything about P&O Cruises, that's primarily a UK cruise line. So most of the time, the passengers that are cruising on the Arvia are coming from the UK, and then they have to get back to the UK. Well, that's the scenario that played out on the 22nd of December. We had passengers who disembarked from the Arvia, got on a chartered plane, P&O chartered plane, like 220 passengers. They were flying from the airport in Barbados to the airport in Manchester in the UK. When about 2 hours into the flight, they got hit with clear air turbulence. And I'm not exactly sure what the definition of clear air turbulence is, but the words terrifying and extreme have been used in the reports that I've read about this. 11 passengers injured on that aircraft during the turbulence event. And it was determined that the plane could not even fly to Manchester Airport, so they had to divert and land in Bermuda. And well, unfortunately, after an event like this, the plane has to be inspected, somewhat grounded for a period of time. Limitations on the airport there in Bermuda. 225 passengers supposed to be home for Christmas morning, now delayed, now somewhat stuck in Bermuda waiting to fly home today. It's a wild thing. I'm sure out of those 225 people, you got grandparents and parents that miss their kids' Christmas. I guess it's a reminder for us that anytime you travel, there is opportunity for a disruption. And I guess you got to bake that in your thought process that, well, maybe Nana's not going to be home for Christmas. Anybody out there watching a part of this? Are you doing okay? I'll continue to track along with it. I think these folks are going to get home in the next couple days. Wow. Now, let me hit you with a quick programming announcement. I'm going to do a live show tonight, live question and answer, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any questions about cruising, please pop in for the live show. That's your cruise news today. You are caught up. Do me a solid, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.